straight ahead on Eyewitness News at 6:30. A strip hotel is in the dark this evening. We have live team coverage of a major power outage at the Bellagio.
And a busy day for rescue workers as they work to save the life of a man trapped in a mine. I'm Carol Wilkinson. I'll have a live report with details coming up.
Good evening. And a bomb scare forces an evacuation at a motel on the valley's east side.
You're watching the news leader, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gonzalez in for Colleen May. We are told a truck crashing into a transformer is the reason power got knocked out to the Bellagio, but for some reason the hotel generator did not kick in, and that ruined Easter Sunday for thousands of guests. Channel 8 Eyewitness News has live team coverage. Adrian Arambulo has more on the impact of the outage, but we start with Cindy Caesar, who spent time inside the darkened hotel. Cindy.
Yeah, what a wild day, Polly. If you take a look behind me, we're at the back of the Bellagio Hotel here, and you can actually see work crews here desperately trying to restore the power inside the hotel. No one from the Bellagio would speak with us on camera today about this power problem. They also would not allow our cameras inside to capture the chaos. But yes, I was able to go inside the property today, and it was truly an unbelievable sight to see no power on inside. We were also able to obtain this home video, which you will about to see, that was taken from inside the hotel today. Hotel guests gathered in the lobby where there was natural sunlight pouring in from the famous Bellagio Conservatory. The guests were also gathered there because they were desperately trying to check out.
So we went down to the pool. We had no water, so we just got up with our PJs and just went down. People were like, oh, nobody has showered. It was quite interesting.
Water was eventually restored to guests by the afternoon, but the slot machines were still shut down and only a few people were playing card games on the casino floor. Many hotel employees like Aaron McLeod, who works in the art gallery, were sent home.
All they told us was that they are going to be closing the casino. As far as the customers are concerned, the people that are staying in the hotel, we have no idea.
In fact, hotel guests were checking in this morning, dragging their bags down the stairs because the elevators in the garage were not working.
To come to Bellagio and have that happen is a little disconcerting, but oh well, we'll make do.
The hotel was initially allowing new guests to check in, and non-guests were allowed to walk around the hotel in the morning. And for Las Vegas residents like Shane and Margie Chesley, it was a nice Easter morning.
But we were just coming to look at the garden, so we were able to see that.
But as the hours dragged on with no restoration of power, hotel management must have realized that the coffee and snack kiosks set up around the property would not satisfy guests. The restaurants were shut down, the Cirque du Soleil show O was canceled tonight. Guests were sent to other MGM properties to stay for the night.
It's amazing just to walk into the Bellagio, there's nothing going on.
As you could see from inside the hotel today, they were allowing people in the morning to walk around. They were allowing guests to check in. But at this hour, the Bellagio is officially shut down. This is obviously not supposed to happen. When power is lost to a casino, generators are supposed to immediately kick in. Joining me now live is Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Adrian Arambulo to tell us how this is possible. Adrian?
City what remains unclear is how this outage started, but what we do know from the MGM Mirage Management Company, the company that runs the Bellagio, is that power is expected to be up in limited areas by late tonight. Power is expected to be up fully in the hotel by tomorrow night. Now, there are some electric crews working feverishly trying to fix this problem. They are running some tests on some power lines underneath and behind the Bellagio. They're running these tests over and over again to see where they stand. And according to one anonymous Bellagio hotel employee, they are bringing in generators all the way from California. So the crews may be here for a while. According to hotel guests, this all may have started after a truck hit a transformer on Frank Sinatra Boulevard, which is behind the Bellagio. That transformer may have shorted some problems and caused some problems with hotels on the southern side of the Strip. We understand that the backup generators kicked on for most of the hotels and casinos, but the extended problems remain here at the Bellagio. Now, of course, with this being Easter Sunday, you can assume that there are a lot of guests here. We know that the Bellagio can house thousands of people, and there are probably some Vegas residents who are looking to have brunch here here as well. We do know that the Bellagio probably suffered some type of monetary damages due to this whole problem. We do know that they have sent some of their guests to their sister resorts, hotels, and casinos. We're going to take a look at the economic impact of things coming up at Eyewitness News at 11. Reporting live, Adrian Arambulo, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
All right, and that economic impact will be big. Well, the hotel was shut down to guests by midday. As Cindy mentioned, those guests were transferred to other MGM properties. It's not clear whether the casino will reimburse guests for their hotel stays. We should also tell you that because there is no power, Bellagio's famed water show is also shut down. More breaking news at this hour on Eyewitness News at 5. We told you about a man trapped in a gypsum mine off Blue Diamond and Rainbow in the southwest corner of the valley. Well, it appears that man has been rescued. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Carol Wilkinson is near the scene with the latest. And Carol, is that man on his way to the hospital?
I will get to that information in just a moment, but importantly, Polly, he has been rescued. There are a number of rescuers who are still coming in from the area where he got trapped in what is said to be a gypsum mine. That happened at about 3:15 this afternoon. To fill in the questions and to give us more information on exactly what happened, I'm being joined now by Officer Jim Mitchell with Metro's Search and Rescue. Officer, tell me, is that man on the way to the hospital? What is his status at this point?
Unknown on his status. We believe he's stable. When he left the mine shaft with the rescuers, he appeared to be stable and talking to us. He fell about 25 to 30 feet. They were exploring some of the mines nearby. A 29-year-old male, like I said, fell about 30 feet down. I think he might have broken one of his arms and had some back injuries, but other than that, I think he's en route to the UMC Trauma Center in stable condition.
What efforts had to be made to get him out? Exactly what did rescue workers have to do to extract him?
It was a very nicely put together joint effort between Clark County Fire Department and Metro Police Search and Rescue. Just about equal amounts of personnel were flown in and drove to the area in 4x4 vehicles, joined forces, and basically effected about, we had about 800 foot of line, rescue line out to rescue this gentleman only about 30 feet down. He was about, say, 100 feet back into the mine and fell into one of the shafts.
Is the area where he was a restricted area, or is it an area that is easily accessible to the public?
Actually, we flew in, and I don't have that information to you. I didn't see any of the road blocked, or I think it was an open mine.
All right. Officer Jim Mitchell with Metro Search and Rescue, thank you so much for joining us again. That man who was trapped since about 3:15 this afternoon, rescued by Metro Search and Rescue and a number of other rescue entities here in town. We're told that his injuries are not life-threatening and that he is either en route to the hospital or should be there shortly. Carol Wilkinson reporting live. Back to you, Polly, in the studio.
All right, thanks, Carol. A motel on the east side of the valley was evacuated by a bomb scare today, but it all turned out to be just a joke. At about 10 this morning, an employee at the Budget Suites on Boulder Highway in Flamingo found a package that looked like a bomb. Police evacuated the motel and 2 nearby buildings and shut down streets in the immediate area, but investigators determined the package was a fake. Police say the precautions are necessary even if the threat turns out to be nothing.
Nowadays, with those type of calls, we definitely want to make sure that we investigate those fully and make sure that nobody gets hurt, and that's the reason for the evacuation.
Investigators suspect the package was left by an upset tenant. Pope John Paul II makes an Easter call for peace instead of war in the Middle East. How the pontiff marked one of the holiest of Christian holidays next on Eyewitness News. And some celebrated Easter at a holy Christian site in the middle of a region plagued by violence. Also, final round of the Masters will be remembered as one for the ages. Chris Matthews will show us some remarkable golf shots, including a thrilling finish coming up in sports.
And I'm Justin Cooper in the Channel 8 Weather Center. Temperatures did warm up a little bit. You can take a look here at our real-time neighborhood conditions. These are the highs from around the valley. Temperatures in the low 80s and upper 70s. A little outside the valley, you can see where your neighborhood ended up. 73 in Pahrump, 67 Searchlight. We'll have your complete forecast, plus what the work week is doing for us, coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching the News Leader, Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6:30 with Colleen May and Sports with Chris Matthews. Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the News Leader.
Thousands gathered in the Vatican City today to hear Pope John Paul II's Easter message. In his speech, the Pope issued a call for peace by urging world leaders to resolve the conflicts in Iraq, the Middle East, and Africa. The Pope also prayed for an end to terrorism and other acts of inhumanity rather. Today's Mass begins an extremely busy Holy Week schedule for the Pope. Meantime, thousands of people are flocking to Jerusalem this Easter weekend to visit the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That's where the site where Jesus is believed to have been crucified and resurrected. The celebrations come despite the possibility of terrorist attacks in the city. Jerusalem continues to be on high alert, fearing retaliation from Hamas for assassination of their founder. President Bush plans to meet later this week with Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon to discuss peacemaking efforts. And President Bush spent Easter with troops stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. He was joined by his parents, mother-in-law, 2 daughters, and the First Lady, and security advisor Condoleezza Rice. At least 9 troops from Fort Hood were killed recently in Iraq. Fort Hood is the largest active-duty armored post in the military. It's never too early to start thinking about how you'll be cared for in your later years, and there are options available. A look at long-term care insurance next. Plus, a nice evening out across the valley. Justin Cooper will check in your work week forecast. We're back in a moment.
You're watching the News Leader, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Planning for the future can save you a lot of money if you start investing early. And as the cost of long-term care rises, more Americans are looking for ways to pay for it. Tonight, Christy Feig takes a look at one couple that invested in long-term care insurance long before they ever thought they would need it.
At 72, Dorothy White still recognizes her husband, but doesn't remember many of their adventures. She has Alzheimer's.
The cost of the facility here is a little better than $5,000 a month.
But that doesn't all come out of his pocket, since they bought long-term care insurance about 5 years ago, before the Alzheimer's set in.
There would be better than $3,000 a month coming out of our resources, so that would make a big dent in my standard of living.
It costs them each about $150 a month. Money well spent, he says, when he sees the bills now.
Medicare only pays for care briefly after a hospital stay. Medicaid doesn't step in until the family's assets have been spent. But you can't necessarily pick where you'll go, and most facilities accept only a limited amount of Medicaid patients.
For people who can't rely on their investments to help, the only way to avoid paying for long-term care out of pocket is to buy long-term care insurance.
Well, without a long-term care policy, you're talking about nursing home care of $60,000 a year today. Assisted living care, some $30,000 a year, $2,500 a month today.
The key to long-term care insurance, the younger you are when you buy it, the cheaper it is. In Washington, I'm Christy Feig.
Planning ahead for the future.
Always good.
How are we going to plan?
That's how we do it. That's my job, is to forecast and plan ahead. Things are going to be pretty nice, actually. We had a nice day today, Easter Sunday. Go outside right now and see how things are shaping up as we wrap up our weekend. A live look here from our Boulder Station camera. Looks a little hazy out there. It's just, but pretty clear skies. We really haven't found any clouds around all day. Let's take you on a trip through the neighborhoods right now. These are some gusts from the neighborhoods, a little bit lower than they were yesterday. You can see 20s and 30s as opposed to 30s and 40s that we saw yesterday. So the breezes were definitely there, just not as strong as yesterday. 29, Red Rock 20 up on the mountain, and 24 at Lake Mead. Current temperatures for you in your neighborhood, you can see mainly 70s dominating most of the valley. 73 Fort Apache, 75 Eastern and East Flamingo. West Trop checking in with 73 outside the valley for you. 68 in Pahrump, 40 up on the mountain, 76 Overton, and 75 down by the river in Laughlin. Officially at the airport today, well, we checked in with 74, just a few degrees below normal. Our morning low of 58, a little bit warmer than normal, and we saw nowhere near those record temperatures that we had to deal with. Your sunset tonight going down at 7:11. It will be up tomorrow at 6:11, so it should be a nice start to your work week with good air quality. Here's the weather picture. Here's what's shaping up. We had the front move through and brought us the cooler winds on Saturday, also the cooler air. Now we're going to have high pressure build in for just a couple of days, but look at the leading edge of this next storm. The low pressure is off the northwest coast. It's pretty significant as it continues to push in through California. Eventually that will change our weather. and some of the moisture down here in Arizona and New Mexico. The salamanders running from that because they're trying to hide and burrow into the ground because they saw lots of rain in Arizona and New Mexico as well. So for the rest of the country, you can see temperatures very cold. Look at the large region of cold air as opposed to some of the warmer air on the west coast. There's 78 in Seattle, actually warmer than us right now, 54 St. Louis, 58 Louisville, 45 in the nation's capital. And you can see the weather picture here. Didn't see a lot of rain in the Masters today in Augusta, which is good news. Held out for just a perfect day, and Chris will have more on that just in a few minutes. Some rain showers in the northeast, also some pretty strong thunderstorms moving through parts of Florida. So if you have some flights down to Miami, Palm Beach, you could see some delays tomorrow. 57 at Mount Charleston tomorrow. Should be a great day and mostly sunny skies, light breezes after a morning low in the upper 20s. For the lake, if you're heading out, 85 tomorrow, so it will warm up very nicely and really not going to be too much wind we saw out there like we did the last couple of days. For tonight in the Las Vegas Valley, look for 53 and mostly clear skies. It should be beautiful to see the last quarter of the moon. For tomorrow, we're going to get things up to about 81. Sunny and warmer. We'll see temperatures in the low to mid 80s in some neighborhoods. And here's your 7-day outlook as we get you into your work week. Warming up on Monday and Tuesday, but then the change comes on Wednesday. We'll see breezier conditions, a little bit cooler, and an outside shot of some rain in the mountains on Wednesday before we see a chance of rain here in the valley on Friday night.
All right, looking good.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, somebody had a happy Easter today.
That's right. Phil Mickelson pretty happy. Happy Easter on Sunday here. And I'll tell you what, if you don't even follow golf, this one will kind of get you a little bit excited. The best golfer never to win a major. His drought is over. Complete Masters highlights. We've got some reaction for you. Plus, a big Western Conference battle. Hey, it's the two Pacific Division giants squaring off in Sacramento. Sports is next here on Channel 8. Well, you got to figure round one, or final round or other, the Masters 2004 will go down as one of the best ever. Boy, it was just crazy. All sorts of great shots dropping. Roars were just ripping through the pine trees all afternoon. Phil Mickelson bringing it. Same with Ernie Els. It would become a two-man show on the back nine. But before that, look at this. On 16, that's Padraig Harrington with a 7-iron. He won the par 3 contest last Wednesday, and he has got the crowd buzzing today with an ace. Now, the very next group on 13, the very next group, there hadn't been a hole-on-one on 16 since 1996, but can you believe this? Kirk Triplett with a 6-iron. In 67 years, there were only 7 aces on this hole, and we're seeing 2 of them today. Kirk Triplett drops like a buck. And back to the dramatic finish. Els takes a 2-stroke lead. He's 8 under. Mickelson making a charge. Down 3. Birdie's 12, 13, 14. Then ties Els at 8 under with a bird. Els would then par out.
7.
Mickelson on 18 for the bird and the win.
Is it his time?
For the first time in 43 majors, he finally wins one. The drought is over. His best hole, the 72nd hole. Mickelson birdies the final hole to win his first green jacket.
I was very confident today that good things would happen. And when I made that putt on 16, or as I was walking up to the green, I really thought that it didn't seem overwhelming. I thought, I'll make this putt and I'll birdie one of the last 2.
I'm obviously disappointed for myself, but I mean, Phil, you know, what he's gone through and in the last 5 years, you know, getting close so many times. And, you know, he won this one. You know, he came in and he birdied 16, birdied 18 to win. Nobody gave it to him. And he didn't, you know, he didn't screw up. He won this one, and all credit to him.
All right, Mickelson needed every stroke on that second 9 where he shot a 31. Els 1 stroke back. KJ Coy had a terrific eagle also. He had a great back 9. Garcia and Bernhard Langer 6 off the lead, and Davis Love the 3rd at 2 under. How about some basketball? Laker fans got to be a little bugged tonight. Their team didn't show up on the big stage. The Kings hosting the Lakers. It was retro day at Arco, and hey, that's got to be true because this didn't look like the Lakers and their all-stars. Look how easy this is. Los Angeles seemed kind of uninterested in making any run. Look at the overhead pass to Doug Christie, who nails the 3-ball. This was an afternoon made for Kings, who had lost 6 of 10, but hey, that stuff's over. Kings win it easy, 102-85, to take a 1-game lead over L.A. in the Pacific. Portland Beavers claw out an extra innings win last night and over the 51s, and they were batting again today. Cosmo delivering some Easter eggs, but the 51s just couldn't stop the Beavers from delivering. 51s trailing before, whoops, 51s even took the lead, but they couldn't hold on to that lead. Beavers get a split of the 4-game series, winning today 3-2-11. Now Las Vegas will open a 4-game homestand with Tacoma on Monday. Last night's fight, won by Lamont Brewster, wasn't the only fight. Earlier before that one, Corey Spinks beat Zab Judah. After that fight, Floyd Mayweather talked with us, and now he wants Spinks.
I mean, Corey Spinks is a good fighter, but he's just a front runner. And Floyd Mayweather goes hard from round 1 to round 12. And we're talking with HBO right now, and we believe this fight can happen in August or September.
After Floyd talked with us, he made his way to the podium and got nearly his wish.
I'm a real one. I'm a real one. I'm a real one. It's real. 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 Hope you is. I hope you is, because you f***ing with one. You f***ing with the real nigga. You f***ing with a real nigga. However you want it. No other way. You got to step up. You want what I got. What? You want what I got. And you want what I got. That's all.
Woo! Both of y'all want what each other got.
For you to make this, you need me.
All right, sounds like a perfect promotion already in the works. Wow.
You want what I got, he won't. Don King wants what they got.
Yeah, exactly. Don King wants that.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, tonight on Channel 8 Eyewitness News Live at 11, power is still out at the Bellagio. See how guests are coping and just how long it might take for the resort to get back up and running 100%. Plus, a permanent ban on a popular diet supplement takes effect tomorrow. We'll have the latest on that and the last-ditch efforts to stop the ban. A man sells everything he owns. Also, you heard about this, sells everything he owns, all on the single turn of a Las Vegas roulette wheel. Did he beat the odds? Stay tuned for those stories and more tonight at 11.
I always wanted to do that, just put everything on red.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not going to, don't worry. I can tell you a forecast. We don't have to gamble with that at all. A nice forecast in store for us for the next couple of days. Good start to your work week. We'll warm up a couple of degrees for tomorrow and Tuesday. Probably going to be the warmest day. That next system going to be moving through on Wednesday. That'll bring us breezier conditions and a chance for some showers in the mountains. And then Thursday and Friday things cool down a little bit. Next big storm probably here by Friday night.
All right, bona fide weather.
Yep, definitely.
Thanks, Justin. That's it for us. We'll see you again at 11, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening.